So the camera is kind of shaking. It's because I'm kind of shaking. I'm a little nervous tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'm having my port surgery for my feeding tube. Finally getting my feeding tube so that I can stop losing weight, losing nutrients, and being malnourished. So there are several feeding tubes out there. If you watch TV and watch Grey's Anatomy, most of the time you see the ones that are in the nose. Those are your NG tubes, your NJ tubes. The N stands for naso, so naso, nose tubes. So those tubes basically, you've got the tube that goes through your nose, down your esophagus, into your stomach. So that's usually for people who are having trouble throwing up with food, things like that. So it bypasses like your gag reflex, so that you're not having to chew and swallow food. And the tube ends up in your stomach, your intestines, things like that, so that you can have the feeding formula go straight down, and then you don't have to worry about eating solid foods. The other common types of feeding tubes, you have surgery and you have a tube directly inserted into your intestines or your stomach. So that's like a G tube or a J tube, depending on where it's inserted. So again, like naso G tube, naso J tube, it depends on the J or the G, depends on where it's going. If it's in your stomach or your intestines, that determines the J or the G. So those, again, you're going to get the formula and you're going to insert it directly in your stomach. So those are for working GI systems, because you're basically, it determines where you insert it, nose or through your belly basically, and your GI system absorbs the nutrients, things like that. What I'm getting is TPN, total parental nutrition. So my GI system does not work. My stomach was paralyzed, so I had a surgery 2 years ago, December 2017, so a little further than that. That's similar to gastric bypass, but basically we took the idea of gastric bypass, we removed my stomach, we made a stomach pouch out of intestines, and because my stomach was paralyzed, gastroparesis, we don't know what caused it, it's idiopathic, and so we basically made a pouch, and it was supposed to allow me to eat, and it did allow me to eat for a few years. And then I started having issues again, and now I'm having issues where basically I'm having the same motility issues, the same paralysis in my intestines and my bowel. I also have too much bowel. It's called redundant bowel, where basically usually your bowel's mine is too much, so it's loops everywhere. It's like a roller coaster in there. So on Monday I'm getting a colostomy where we're cutting a ton of my bowel out, as well, to see if that might help with some of the paralysis. But for my feeding tube, we can't put it through my nose, first of all, because I have horrible nosebleeds, and everything erodes my nose. I've actually had MRSA in my nose a couple times, and then I can't have it directly in my stomach, because if we put it in my stomach or my intestines, those aren't absorbing nutrition, so it won't do any good. So basically we're putting in a port here in my chest. It'll go, through my heart and into the big veins. And we are putting in nutrition that's already broken down to go straight into your veins. So that's what TPN is. It's like a clear type liquid. We're going to be inserting vitamins, things like that, already broken down to go into your bloodstream. It's going to have your perfect carbs, proteins, everything already calculated, the right amount of calories. It takes about 12 hours, so I've got to decide if I want to do my TPN drip during the day. I do have a backpack that would allow that, or if I want to do it at night. The only problem, at night's a little more convenient, but then I'm up going to the bathroom all night. So it's kind of, I've got to figure out, you know, what's going to work best for my lifestyle. I've also got to figure out what's going to work best with my colonoscopy. So yeah, but so that's what my feeding tube is going to be. It's going to be right here in my port. So I'm going to have home health nursing come and set it up and change it out a few times, help me with dressings, and then I'll have my colostomy down here that they're going to help change out and things. But so that's the surgery I'm having tomorrow, is inserting the port and things like that. It's going to be conscious sedation. So it takes about an hour, I guess, to insert, so it shouldn't be too bad. I've never had conscious sedation before because of my epilepsy. I've always had full general anesthesia, so I'm a little nervous about that. Like, even with my dental work, I've always had full general anesthesia. So I did see a YouTube video where they said if you're feeling a little funny, you just tell them and they will give you some more meds. So I'm hoping it'll go pretty smooth. I'm going in there with that mindset, so hopefully that will help. I'm also seeing myself, by the way, for first time with complete no makeup. I've got my nighttime skincare routine on, and also no earrings because you can't have it for surgery. And I get up really early for my surgery. And none of my like feminine stuff. I usually have like a bunch of like headbands and stuff like that, and I'm not liking it. I miss all my like cute feminine stuff that I usually do. I feel like I look like a boy, which is totally not me. So probably gonna put on some eye makeup and stuff in the morning just so I feel cute. Because you gotta go in with a positive mindset. But yeah, so that's TPN. That is my feeding tube that I'm getting. I will do a video and show you more and how it works once I get it. And it's all set up. So that's what it is. I'm a little nervous, and wish me luck. And I will talk to you some more tomorrow. Bye guys.